All right, so today we're going to talk about hip cars. And hip cars are the motion of our hip where we go, bring our knee to our chest, bring the leg to the outside, do a big circle around, and then we come back around. So which car is the best for you? Okay, which hip car works for you? Which is which is the most best or accurate one for your body? And the answer is the one that doesn't hurt, the one that allows you to do this without pinch points. Okay, so for example, if you found a pinch point standing, you might want to do one of the levels beforehand, and then the one that you're able to control best. All right, and these are progressive. So our goal is to get to a standing hip car, but we can definitely do hip cars in different positions all the time. To feel better, to change things up. All right, and again, our goal this week is to figure out where we start. Okay, so we're going to start from the very beginning on our back, or in what is called supine. So I'm going to straighten my legs out. All right, in this position, I want to make sure that my back is on the ground here. I can feel my abs, as I go through this drill, and I'm not getting motion from other areas, so I don't want like my body tilting or anything like that. So I can push my hands into the ground. I can get some motion here. Or I can get some tension into the ground here. Make sure my back is pressed down. So first thing that I want to do is I'm going to bring my knee to my chest here. From here, I'm going to just bring my leg to the outside as far as I can. What this is going to do is try to pull me over to the side. I don't want to do that. Just extend my leg out and then come back through. And then we're just going to reverse that circle. So I'm going to turn my leg out to the side. I'm going to bring my knee to my chest. I'm going to start to come in. I'm going to start to extend. All right, so let's do this one more time. Let's bring the knee to the chest. Bring the leg to the outside. Extend the leg out. Let's hold. Now let's turn the leg out. Let's bring the knee to the chest. Let's come in. And let's extend. All right? And so let's say as we go through our hip car that we have an area that, just doesn't really work very well. Like most of the car is good, but then like maybe this motion moves quickly, all right? That's where you want to focus your attention, okay? So we might do what's called a partial car, all right? And that's where I just get into one range of motion, and I just try to generate tension, kind of canvas that area slowly to make my body neurologically aware of that area, as well as just build some better control. Okay, so this is a tip that kind of goes for all levels of cars. It kind of allows us to focus in an area. Okay, let's say that's painful. Let's say everything's painful. Even doing the smallest circle is, a problem. We can simply start with partial cars, capsular cars. So a capsular car in this position would just be turning the knee in and turning the leg out. All right, so once I can do that, then I can move to start making a bigger circle, as I demonstrated. Now, once we can do that, and once we can make a pretty clean circle, we're going to move into side lying. And again, side lying is the same thing. I'm going to bring my knee to my chest. I'm going to bring my leg to my outside here. I'm going to start to do a big circle around, and I'm going to want to come through. All right? Then I'm going to push back, or turn my leg out, do a big circle back around. Now, what you'll find with this is we go through this motion, my knee here, do a big enough circle, is going to want to come off the ground. That is, again, a compensation. So as I'm going through this, I want to get tight by pushing my body into the ground here, kind of dropping my ribs down, and kind of pushing this knee down, and only making a circle big enough to where that doesn't occur. Like for me, that was better. I didn't see as much motion there. And again, for partial cars, focus, if we need to focus on a particular area, whether it be kind of the transition into extension, or kind of transition back, or hip flexion itself, we can simply stay there, and just perform that particular motion. Or we can stop anywhere and just do some partial car or some capsular cars. All right, and this exercise here is just turning our muscles turning our hips, stabilize our muscles on in this particular range. So this is useful to do. So if I move fast through this area here, as I push back, I can just hold myself in that area and do some capsular cars to tell my hip, hey, I'm here. I need stability in this range. All right, so once we can get that, I'm going to come into quadruped here, take a block and put it on my back. All right, the block, or really any object, will just monitor my back position and make sure that I'm just moving from my hip versus anywhere else. Because what you'll find is that as you go through this particular one, like I'll show you one before I show you the compensation. I come through. You can see I'm just kind of like moving from my hip here. But when I start to compensate, what you'll find is that I do this. I drop it down. So really the key here is that let's keep it nice and flat. Let's come up and hold, out and hold, big circle around into extension, hold, come down, and then come up and hold, knee out and hold, knee to chest and hold, and come down. Now, let's go ahead and move into standing. Standing is one of my, obviously it's my go-to, the position that I like to use for most clients that are, pretty healthy. Standing first is, I'm just going to hold onto a wall here, get tight, bring my knee to my chest, pause, bring my leg to the outside, start to do a big circle, push back behind me. Same thing, push back, start to come around, come through. Let's do this one more time. Come up, come out, come around, push back and through. Then I push back. I start to come around and through. And again, like what you should find is that as I do this, I don't want my body to move with it. And what you'll see is as I do this, a compensation would be my body spinning out, or as I start to maybe move behind me, me leaning forward. I don't want to get any motion with my body, okay? So assuming, give me 1 minute, man. So assuming that I have that, and I'm in a good position, my final progression here would be to move to what is called a blocked car. So I can do that by literally blocking my body against the wall, because when I'm here, when I'm against the wall, I can really not screw up. So it forces me to only use what I actually have. So you notice like my circle is much smaller here because I can't really contort my body anymore. And that's going to be kind of the ultimate challenge. So this is where we want to go as far as progression. But again, in the beginning, when you don't have much motion, I would rather you have some compensations and allow for, movement. So pick the car that works for you. Hopefully that gives you a good idea of how to perform hip cars. Post any questions that you have, and enjoy.